Hello guys and welcome to another video. In this video I'll show you a fun build. It's not a S tier build, but it's a really good and really fun build. I would not recommend this build for grandmasters, but for general content, for content that are at your light level, this is actually really good and really fun. Okay, so the exotic we're going to run is Necrotic Grip. This build is meant for you to poison every single thing that moves in your path, okay? It's really good for crowd control. A lot of people are using this with Solar. I run it with Void, and I'll show you why when I start to explain the build. But for now, just check what's on your screen, every single enemy, they're really easy. You get volatile rounds in your Enigma. The enemies, they die on their own because they're poison. You have a lot of survivability because you have Devour. And I actually tried to run a Lost Sector with champions without any anti-champion mod. And I was actually surprised, because it worked. I wasn't expecting it, but it actually worked. So, because you have Child of Gods, you can actually weaken your enemies, get a little bit of health back. You have Devour, you have health regeneration with this. It will all be explained. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I'm gonna say it's not my main build, and I'm not going to run it a lot of times, but it's fun, and I want to start to do this. To do a couple of build videos where they don't need to be the best builds in the game. They don't need to be S tier builds. They need to be fun. We need to have fun while playing the game. So yeah, sometimes I'll throw a couple of videos with the best builds in the game, and sometimes I'll throw a couple of fun builds that I think are well made and will actually work in a couple of situations. Right now, there's a anti-barrier champion. I do not have anti-barrier, but with Child of the Gods and Zephyr, that's it. It's done. Okay, the build now. So, for the helmet, guys, I went with an arc helmet where you can use hands-on and elemental ordnance. So you throw a grenade, you'll generate a well. You'll kill with your melee, you gain super energy. For the exotic, of course, is Necrotic Grip. So what it does is damaging combatants poisons them, dealing increasing damage over time. Defeating a poison combatant spreads the condition. So basically, when you hit an enemy, you will poison him. And when that enemy dies, it will spread the poison to nearby enemies. So this is a great option for crowd control, guys. Great option. And I went with Elemental Charge. For the chest piece, I went with Font of Might. So when you get Elemental Well from the grenade you throw, you you get Charge of Light and you get Font of Might. Font of Might will give you more power, will give you more damage with your, in this case, void weapons. So Enigma will be the glaive that we're going to roll with. For the leg armor, we'll use High Energy Fire and it stacks. So you get a well, you get Charge of Light, so you get High Energy Fire. They both stack. And you get Well of Tenacity, okay? In the Warlock Bond, so when you get over that well, when you go over that well, you get damage resistance. Since this is a mainly a glaive build, you will be in the middle of the enemies, so Well of Tenacity will help a small bit. For the subclass, guys, I went with Void. You can go with Solar, no problem at all. no problem at all. If your team needs a rift, if your team needs a well of radiance, fair enough. But I went with void because of this. Because you can use devour, you can use child of the old gods. So in a small area, you'll actually weaken your enemies. And because of the fragments, so you get volatile rounds in your glaive, in your enigma, when you kill enemies with a grenade. When you kill enemies with your ability, they actually explode, which is nice. Explosions are nice. You get health regeneration, so melee final blow start health regeneration for you and your allies. And the melee with the glaive actually does this, so it's nice. And when you kill enemies while surrounded by a bunch of them, you get more super energy. So this subclass is amazing, amazing to pair with Necrotic Grip and a Glaive. I'm running with Zephyr just for fun. If you want a solid DPS option, just go with your Taipan. It will help in almost every situation. So yeah, you'll be fine. This is a glaive build, but of course you should throw Osteostriga with Necrotic Ribs. They're made for each other. It, Osteostriga will poison, and Necrotic Rib will allow the enemy that was poisoned by Osteostriga to explode and continue the the poison blast. So yeah, and this is it, guys. This is it. Again, this build, it's not meant for you to go run a Grandmaster with, but in normal content where the enemies are at your light level, it'll actually be fun. It's a fun build. It's not a S tier build in any way. It's not. But it's a fun build. If you're doing some strikes, if you're doing a dungeon and you need to kill a lot of heads, this build is actually fun and it's actually good in that situation. I was a little bit tired of all that S tier kind of builds, those liar handshake builds, art of inmost lights, you know the deal. So yeah, let's try to make a couple of fun builds, and that's it. Um, don't forget to like and subscribe. Say something nice in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully. Bye.